Anyway, oh, the giggles. Right, anyway, I don't know where I was now. I'm like, I'll take it as a compliment that you're saying I look young. Anyway, right, so where was I? I don't know. Right, let's just get on with it. If you've any questions, pop them into chat. I may or may not answer them, just because it's the film link. Thank you. Sometimes the chat moves quickly and I miss it. No, I never trained him. No. He got trained by Invisible Cities. If you actually look at his kind of bio, the Invisible City stuff is all there. Yeah, we're completely different styles, to be fair. So yeah, I'm based on history, architecture, that kind of thing, geology. His is her kind of fun type. I'm not sure. It's doing different styles. You'll see. Anyway, so where we are, we're in the Canongate. Okay. So the Canongate runs from the castle at the top, from the Netherwell Port halfway down the Royal Mile to the palace at the bottom. So we're at the bottom end of the Royal Mile for those who are trying to get their bearings. Now, across the road is Starbucks. The reason I'm pointing this out is so that you can find this garden if you ever come here. No, Harry Potter's up at the top end. So you're okay, you've no worries. It's strange that he's put a tour on at the same time as me. But anyway, these things happen. Oh, gimbal. Come back round, you naughty car. Now you see Dunbar Close, and as you walk past this, it doesn't look inviting in the slightest. Okay? But if you come down here, there's an absolutely beautiful garden that gets overlooked quite often. It's becoming more popular. People are beginning to realise it's here. But because the entrance is so unwelcoming, you have no idea. Now this is Dunbar Close. Now we think it's named after David Dunbar, and he was a well-known Edinburgh writer, and he actually owned tenements on either side of the close. So the little passageway we've just walked down. Now the garden was originally created by Patrick Geddes. Patrick Geddes is known as the father of modern town planning. He was a botanist by trade. He was a philanthropist. He was very much into the welfare of mankind, really. And if you're interested, you should Google him. There's a website and everything. So it was then redeveloped to the current design that we have. Now the Mushroom Trust is an Edinburgh-based green space charity, and they actually bought the land here. And their aim was to continue Patrick Geddes' work. So it's a tiny little garden. I'm going to take us down here, and then we'll come round and look at the rest of it. But as we come down, all of a sudden it's nice and peaceful. I'm not hearing any birds at the moment, but usually you can hear the birds as we come in here. Right. It's absolutely beautiful. And I mean, like I say, I don't know anything about plants, but it's just so relaxing. It's a beautiful place to just come sit and relax for a little while. So we have this lovely tree here. This whole border, about 15 years ago, was covered in black plastic, and it had big warnings on it, and it was covered for about 2 years, and it had warning poison. We are trying to eradicate a pernicious weed. And of course I had no idea what that was. So eventually I saw one of the volunteer gardeners, and I asked, and it turned out it was ivy. They had a terrible ivy problem. Now here we've got a private garden. There's nobody in it, so I'm allowed to just kind of pop over and let you see. We've got all these beautiful, those red flowers are gorgeous, aren't they? Now the house just behind it, we're looking at 1700s. Blue skies. This little structure here was Lady Haig's poppy factory, so that's where the poppies were made. Anyway, so yeah, so this was a pioneering redevelopment of the old town through community green spaces. So there's lots. There was about 11 of these little gardens. I don't know what that is, but it's lovely. And there's a slightly bigger one with purple at the back there, but I don't think I can get you any closer than this. That's really... It is a bit windy. I have to admit, the wind is blowing. And the nice thing about this garden is there's always something all year round. Now, Geddes had created 9 spaces by 1911, so there was 19 little pocket gardens by 1911, and his purpose was to interconnect a network of sort of green spaces, acting as a green lung for the city. Because a lot of the people who lived in the old town had no aqualegia? Columbine? Okay, right. Yeah, see, a lot of the poorer people, the working class people here, they didn't really have the opportunity to have green spaces because they were living in tenements. So that's like blocks of flats or apartments. Some of them very, very small. And he was very much into people being able to come into green spaces and relax, to actually have access to it. So this was one of the green lungs for Edinburgh's cramped medieval old town. These are gorgeous too. Like I say, I know nothing about plants. I just enjoy looking at them, and I'm loving the colours. These are just fantastic, and it's amazing how in a month's time everything will have changed and there'll be other plants. These ones should be flowering by then. So yeah. So anyway, many of the pocket gardens still continue to be used today. The pink ones are peony. Oh, thanks, Sam. Peonies, thanks, Gary. Yeah, so we have, if you've been on my Walls of Edinburgh tour, I show you one of the pocket gardens, the one at the West Port, which is top of the Grassmarket area. So we've got one at Chesil's Court. There's quite a few of them, and it's just lovely to see them all. Lots of trees and things here as well. And the way that this one's laid out is actually quite nice. It's in little sort of segments. So you've got this little walkway that we've just done. So that's just looking back at it. There is lavender ahead on the left, but obviously it's not flowering yet. So when the lavender's out, it smells lovely. But here, just as we walk through to the next part of the garden, we've actually got this lovely little green, so a little square green area. And when my kids were younger, the older ones used to go to the Royal Mile Primary School, and so this is where we would come and wait for the different classes to come out. Now, just over here, you can't really see it now, but there's a gate there that takes you down to the road behind, but there's all sorts of construction going on at the moment, so I think it may or may not reopen, we don't know. But you can see this wall. That's the wall of the Canongate Kirk. So that's the graveyard just there. So this is actually a very sheltered position that we're in, which helps with the plants that we've got growing here. Now, the Trust gifted the garden to the City of Edinburgh so workers, residents, visitors, oops-a-daisy, could take refuge from the hustle and bustle of the Royal Mile. And it's beautiful. Oh, even the benches, I'm just going to show you this. Well, it tickles me. It might not be beautiful to you, but I just, the detail on the legs. You see the grapes? I don't know if you can see them there. But it's just lovely. The way that the detail that's in here. Now, both the design and the plants were inspired by authentic 17th... Oh, thank you, Hilary. I forgot to mention, yes, sorry. The platform is free to watch if there's anyone new on, and the only way the guides get paid is if you tip us, so that's what that's all about. Now, I am a bit short of breath, but that is because it's hot and I'm still recovering from COVID, so if you start to hear me, please don't review me and say there was a lot of huffing and puffing, because I can't help it. Yeah, sorry. Now here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these little boxed in areas, and each one's got different plants in it. So we've got holly in the middle here. So you've got what was that, variegated holly? Did I get that right? Probably got it wrong. And then they've got this lovely little yellow. It's amazing how bright the plants, the colours are. It's just beautiful. And then just here we have splayed fruit trees. They're quite small because the ones that we had, the original ones, died a couple of years ago. We had a strange season where it was like summer came early and then went away again, and it really confused a lot of the plants, I think. So we've got the planting that they've got here, although they're small, they will eventually get bigger, is like the old breeds of things, so old pears, old apples. And we've got herbs. But just even if we look at this, it's beautiful. Now, we've got conical shrubs, we've got yew, we've got apple, we've got cherry trees, we've got foxglove, rosemary, figs, lavender, roses, honeysuckle, snowdrops, jasmine, iris. I think that showing my ignorance again, I think that might be an iris, that white one, is it? Can somebody tell me? Because we've got quite a few of those. Yes, oh thank you. So we have like a purpley version as well. Excellent. But just, you know, this is a public garden. It's looked after by the Edinburgh Council. It gets a haircut twice a year, but there's volunteers who come in and tend it. And it's just amazing that it's in the heart of the city. And I mean, you can see it's quiet, it's peaceful. People come here for their lunch. It's brilliant. This wall is the wall to the cemetery, okay, just that one there. Oh right, when you get the postcards, okay, I'm just going to stand here still. The round button, click it, and there should be a little timer next to it, and when the timer goes up it means you've taken a picture, and then at the end you go into your dashboard and you'll see postcards. You know, let's have like my trips and then postcards, and you'll be able to get them from there, and then you can share them, you can download them, you can do all sorts from there. Okay, now, yeah, so, I mean, when I first started guiding, I was doing a lot of walking tours. I used to, this is where I'd come for my lunch. Now, I think the fig trees are through here. Let me see. Yeah, I think this is a fig tree. And somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah, but because this is such a sheltered position, you can see the height of it. It's actually, this one's quite big. So yeah, we're very, very, very lucky. It's just so peaceful. It's definitely fig, thank you. Right, and I think this is the honeysuckle part. Yeah, this is the honeysuckle. It's not quite ready yet, and then I've got jasmine on the other side. Oh look, I don't know if I'll be able to get it for you, but there's a bee on the chives. You see the bee? Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, and it's a happy bee. It's taken a lot of its time here. So we've got chives, we've got all sorts of herbs. As we come round, we've got calendula here. A lot of calendula, marigold. And then we've got curry plant, we've got, you know, general herbs that you would find. Now the trellises are covered, and we've got trellises, we've got carved beeches. Are they wonderful? I've never eaten a chive flower. I might be brave and try it one day. So here we are, we're just kind of looking back where we came from down here. The sun has been really kind to us, to be fair. This is beautiful. There. And then just over the wall, it's a bit bright, but it's just so you can get your bearings. That's the church, the Canongate Kirk. There was a slum here, to be fair. It was pulled down. A lot of brewery workers pulled down, cleared, and then the garden was opened up to the public. I'm not sure what this is, but it looks quite pretty. Right, thanks everyone that's helping with the postcards. Solomon's seal. Oh, potato salad. Look at this. This, I think, yeah, I think this is gorgeous. I don't know if I can get close without it blurring, but look, you can see, that's amazing. Nature is just incredible. It really is. Flag iris. Thank you, Sam. Isn't that gorgeous? And I think, is that rhubarb? No, I don't know what that is. There's something that looks very similar to rhubarb at the back. And then, is this, am I right, are these peonies again? There. Oh, fantastic. Potato salad is just one of the favourites. Now, just ahead of us here, we have a tulip tree. A tulip tree in a... I'm not going to try and pronounce it in Latin because I just can't. Now, this is in the middle, the tree in the middle here. It's rarely found in Scotland because of our climate and things, but this is very sheltered where it is. So it's actually survived very well. And then you've got this lovely little hedge, geometric shapes, but they're overgrown because they obviously it's volunteers that look after it, so we don't always have somebody in to keep its shapes, but you get the general idea. Just ahead here there was a bakery which was taken down as well, so there's this area has been in use for a long time. Oh, actually I don't know what these are, but they're pretty. I'll let you see them. These are looking lovely too. And that looks like a bit like a chive, but not. They're gorgeous. Oh, and there's one lonely little daffodil just down there on its own. Wolfie. Alliums. Alliums, okay, brilliant, thank you. Excellent. Right, so the garden you see today, it's surprisingly tranquil considering you've got a road right there. Where we walked in is the Royal Mile, part of the Onion family. That's maybe why it looks, yeah. So yeah, we're very, very lucky. Now, the good thing is the garden's free and it's open all year round. In the winter it shuts when it's dark kind of thing, but in the summer it is open much later, so we're very, very lucky. Now, this, as you can see, has been quite badly damaged. And it's been damaged by the ivy because the ivy was all up this wall and it overgrew the plaque telling you about the Mushroom Trust and the garden being donated. But yes, I honestly don't know. Everything's a bit confused this year again. But I don't think... I mean, the daffodils definitely should be over by now. But there's still daffodils about. But anyway... Yeah, so if you do come to this end of the Royal Mile, definitely remember this garden's here because it is so peaceful. But like I say, it doesn't look welcoming. There's graffiti, and then on top of it, the sign is minuscule and above your head. So I'm looking at it at eye level, and you've got to look right up before you can actually tell that you're supposed to go down there. So we're just going to head down to another garden at the bottom, but I will take a little detour into one of the closes that you've probably been into if you've been on any of the other Edinburgh tours, but it's also part of this Patrick Geddes pocket garden improvement of people's lives. So we're still in the Canongate, we're not going to leave it now, just in case anybody's trying to follow it on a map. Now, when it comes to gardens, you can see the line of the houses here. No front gardens, because over time the population grew. Your gardens at the back were sold to build houses, and then the same thing happened to the front gardens. Except one, which is just ahead of us. It's the Canongate Manse, but it's an old coaching inn from the 1700s. And somehow they kept their front garden space. So it is quite unusual in the old town to have this. You can just see a car's just, oh, it's doing a U-turn. But yeah, so we have this green space at the front of the building that really is unusual for Edinburgh, because like I say, the line of the houses show you that all the other gardens were sold off for housing. Oh, did you? Yeah, we've had funny weather. It's been hot, and then it's been raining, and yeah, it's just, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. It would be nice if we could just get some nice sunny weather, just for a few weeks would be lovely. I think everybody's deserving some good weather. But not be long, we're just going to head down to the palace part. I forgot this was at the time that we're coming down here is actually the school and everything's just come out, so it's quite busy. But anyway, yeah. So we've got a little walled garden, sort of a wild garden, at Johnson Terrace, which is just at the side of Edinburgh Castle, and nobody realises it's there because it's just behind the church, and it's a lovely little garden as well. See, Patrick Geddes, he was very forward thinking. He believed that children should be educated for half the day in the classroom and half the day in the garden. They should know where their food comes from, and I think that's something that we've kind of lost, you know. Everybody's been so careful because, you can't let children go out, they might get dirty or they might, but they need to go digging about in the dirt, eating the chives straight from the plant, you know. I had my daughter, my fourth child, I tried to grow chives in the garden and I noticed they were dying and I couldn't work out why, and then one day I realised she was eating them, so they didn't really survive. Now, the signal's okay. I know. And the thing is, she was like 3.5. Have you been eating the chives? And she's like, no, but I could smell the onion. Now, again, this is part of the regeneration of the area. It's not technically a garden, I suppose. It's lovely pots with ferns and bluebell, and there's little poppies. There's all sorts of things, and then a huge amount of ivy at the back there. We'll just, hopefully the signal's okay. I'm still, is the signal going? We're back to 3. Right. It was just to let you see, you know, there's nobody sitting out, so I don't mind showing you just now. But even in a place that doesn't technically have a garden, that was the Parliament. We'll see it again. But look, you've just got, and look at the way that isn't that gorgeous? And then you've got all the hanging baskets, and this is an artist's house. She's lovely. So yeah, she likes the greenery. She likes her ivy. Yeah, absolutely, it's gorgeous. There used to be an old gentleman that used to look after all the plants here. I think he's gone. I've not seen him for a while. He really couldn't stand the ivy. It really upset him. You've got a balcony. Well, see, that's it. If you've got space for potted plants, at least you've still got something, you know. I know, the stairs are incredible. But what we've got in front of us is a nice restoration going on here. But this archway is reminding us, it's a nod to the past, showing us how the old town was built. But yeah, I'm just going to quickly let you see this because somebody was asking. So that's the Scottish Parliament. What you're looking at, this part here, is the architect's drawing of the old town from his hotel. But we're just going to cross over and have a look at the Physic Garden at the palace. The palace dates to the 1100s, and we had Canon who grew plants, medicinal plants and that kind of thing. So there's been plants growing here for a long time that have been cultivated by humans. But once we get across and into it, sorry, I'm just I'll get in there in a second. Right. Now the gate at the side is shut, but the other gate was open when I went past. So I'm hoping it's still open. So there you've got Arthur's Seat and Salisbury Crags. Arthur's Seat is an extinct volcano. It erupted around 350 million years ago. And Edinburgh Castle Rock is sitting on one of the vents for that volcano. You also have Salisbury Crags, the ridge. The ridge that you're looking at, that ridge is actually a dolerite intrusion. It's a feature you don't normally see. It's usually underground. But there's a fault line at the bottom. And when the fault line moved, the whole thing tipped up. So it's not actually a volcano, it didn't erupt. It's a completely different geological feature. So we're very, very lucky. Ah, no! They've shut it. See, it was open when I went past. I think there's something on at the palace. It might be the General Assembly for the Church of Scotland. That is so annoying. Wait a second. Yep, it's definitely locked. Right. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. We'll have to go round the side and see what we can see. Actually, we'll try going and seeing if the side gate's open. Yeah, because I checked this to make sure when I saw all the parking cones and everything. I was in there before I went up to do my tour. So yeah, if anybody knows what it is, I forgot to Google, but I think it might be the General Assembly. Oh, the side bit's open, so at least we'll be able to look over if we can't get in the side way. Right. Whew. Magical mystery tour. So here, actually this is part of, it's in 3 sections, we can get in, that's fine. So what you've got here, you can see what's left of the daffodils. Oh, and I forgot what they're called. Harebells, is it? Little purple plants like this. They're purple, that shape, like single flowers. Absolutely gorgeous. So this is geometric. The way this is laid out is in a geometric pattern. And you can see the wall running off here, which leads to Queen Mary's bathhouse. But we had royal tennis courts here. And then just in front of us, and I'm going right into the sun now, so I'm going to take us across into the shade so that you can actually hear bells. Yes, beautiful. There we are, we're in the shade. I will take us back once I've got the sun to the back of us. But here you can see lots of poppies. I'm not sure what that is, but it's a really pretty white flower. So we've got lots of poppies, all different sizes. We've got rosemary. Rosemary good for remembrance, for your memory. We make tinctures out of it. You would be buried with it. There's all sorts of uses for rosemary. Well, that one's flowering. I think that, yeah, that is a rosemary. That's flowering. Lavender, ladies until lots of chives, all sorts of things. So I'm just going to kind of walk us back and forward, really. So the original 17th century Physic Garden was the first of its kind in Scotland, and it was only the second in the UK, so it was a fairly new idea. It's gorgeous. And then the little yellow, oh, the wind is definitely blowing. Now, this was established, the original Physic Garden on this site was established in 1670 by 2 members of the Royal College of Physicians, Sir Robert Sibbald and Dr. Andrew Balfour, I think it was Balfour, sorry. Yeah, I think it was Balfour. Is this time? Oh, let me see. No, it's a bay tree. Oh, that's the... Wait, that's not a bay tree. That's a bay tree. Yeah, if you refresh if it's frozen. Excuse me, my hair's just gone right in my mouth. So yeah, and it was established so that they could grow good quality medicinal herbs. They wanted plants that they could use for medicine that were of a reliable quality. Again, you've got this lovely little yellow flower, but unfortunately the thing with the name on it isn't there, so I can't see. And this is really pretty. These are lovely. And then you've got, I think this is lady's mantle here. It's beautiful, and we'll go have a little walk around. Yeah, now the area that they only had 4 square metres, and it was planted with 90 medicinal plant species. Is that lily of the valley? That looks like lily of the valley. Yeah, the weave basket that they've got is because the garden is meant to be accessible by all. So all the plants are actually at a height where if you're in a wheelchair, you can still, enjoy them. And it's also educational, so this has also been set up for children to come and learn about plants and medicinal plants and things like that. So it's an absolutely fantastic addition to the palace, and it's free. You can come in, you can look around, you know, it's just fantastic. And here's, we've got more iris. Yeah. Now, there was actually several, once this got established, there were several Edinburgh physicians who also came together to pay an annual fee for the garden, and they also contributed, you know, to the design and what plants and things. And then we've got the little strawberry plants here, little, you know, the tiny little strawberries. So we've got that, and then we've got beautiful roses, just not out yet. I'm not sure what this big plant is. It's huge though. Look at the size of the stalk on it. It's massive. Yes, Holyrood. That's right, Brenda. Thank you. A lot of people put Holly or Hollywood, but it's Holyrood, Holy Cross is what it's standing for. Now, it was actually a young self-taught gardener called James Sutherland. He was actually hired to look after it. It did outgrow its space here, and it moved to where Waverley train station is now, and then it moved to the top of Leith Walk, and then eventually it moved to its last location, which is Inverleith. So it's actually now the Royal Botanic Garden of Edinburgh. This is where it started. So yeah, we are very, very lucky. Angelica, oh cool. Now, once it had moved, James Sutherland actually re-rented the plot of land, and he grew melons, oranges, lemons, myrtle, all sorts of exotic plants. Oh, we've got, I think, raspberries. Yeah, I don't think it's brambles, I think it's raspberries. But I could be wrong. But either way, I like both of them, so either one I'll eat. Yeah. Growing up in Scotland, everyone's eating brambles as a child. So here we've got more calendula. So calendula is the one you would make the magic cream from. You would take the heads, you'd sort of cook them up in animal fats. Today we'd use like shea butter, coconut oil, that kind of thing. And you'd always have a pot of the magic cream. It forms a barrier on nappy rash and cuts and things, but it's also got healing properties to it. So calendula is like the plant for the magic cream. And I love the beech hedging, it's gorgeous. And I love the way it changes colour. So I'm just going to let you look at the meadow type area. So this is a sort of a meadow. This is meant to remind us of the meadow. Sometimes it gets higher. We'll see what it's like in about a month or so. I'll probably try and come back and do it again so you can see how it's changed. And then as we look over, we're looking towards where the geometric bulb planting is. Now the little building hiding in the trees, that's known as Queen Mary's bathhouse. Said that Mary Queen of Scots bathed in that in either white wine or ass's milk. Yes, and apparently that was twice a year. But her cousin Elizabeth of England only bathed once a year. There's a thought. Now, the kind of plants that you would have planted, look at that seating area, isn't that gorgeous? The kind of plants we had, so birthwort, that was said to assist in childbirth. Feverfew, thought to reduce fevers. Scurvy grass, which was used by the sailors on long sea voyages. Lady's mantle, which I showed you a wee bit earlier. Topical and internal treatment for wounds. GI complaints, female ailments. Yes. And then spotted lungwort was thought to cure pulmonary infection. So all of the plants had some sort of medicinal use. And I think this is red valerian, but I could be wrong because, like I say, I'm not a plant expert. Does anyone recognise it? And I think there's chives everywhere because I think someone said to me chives are quite good at keeping away the beasties, the creepy crawlies. Yeah, and then they have their nicely, discreetly hidden composting area. Someone's got a squeaky break going on there. Rosemary was used for upset stomachs, hair growth, memory, stress relief. Chives were used to, I think it was to attract bees and to repel pests. I think that's what chives were. Calendula, like I say, that's been used for a long time. Common hound's tongue. This one was used for piles, persistent cough, baldness and madness. Hairy kidneywort, there's one that you'll never forget the name of now. Hairy kidneywort was believed to cure epilepsy. So yeah, it's amazing. Right. Bees love chives. Yeah, I had to take my lavender out this year because it had gone very woody. I didn't realise I wasn't like pruning it back enough because I didn't want to hurt it, and the bees loved it, so I just kept leaving it, and then yeah, it ended up that it wasn't good for the plant, so it turned into kind of a woody type thing, so I was a bit disappointed. Now, yeah, so we've seen the 15th century sort of monastic garden as in the meadow, and then we've got the geometric planting. There's about 900 years represented in the three little areas that I've just shown you. No, it didn't, but I've had a terrible problem in my garden with a weed that we can't get rid of, and when it grows out the ground it's like a spear shape, and then it's got really thin leaves, very very thin, and then it gets tall and it's just everywhere, and we just can't. We've tried everything, weed killer on it, nothing works. Anyway, so yes, so I've just realised that I have gone over time again, and I'm really sorry. I don't know what happened, the time just disappeared on me again. But if you've any questions, please feel free, ask me now. If there's anything you want me to go back to so you can take a picture, definitely let me know. I'll just let you see the chives there. See, I'd love to grow chives, but like I say, I think number 4 would probably just keep eating them, even though she's older now. She likes them. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. It's just that the idea was just to enjoy nature and just relax for half an hour, you know. Yeah, the flowers and the greenery, it does it. And you know, I'm not a fan of bees per se, but I love seeing them on the flowers and things, you know, when they're not near me. I love a bee. I'm just trying to see if you can see that. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little bee busy at his work there. You see him? So yeah. The picture's frozen, Dwayne. If you try refreshing your screen for me. We're just about finished anyway. I think I'll put the tour on again in about a month and a half time, just so we can see the other plants that have, you know, moved forward. Monarda, oh maybe. Yeah. So I'm not very, like I say, when it comes to plants, I can identify a couple, but not really. You know, I wouldn't put this on as a garden tour by an expert at all. You know, it's just here to enjoy and relax. And even here they've got the little splayed trees. I don't know if you can see it there. There's a pole with 2 branches going along, so we'll get fruit here. Let's go and see what that is. Sorry, I know I should be letting you go, but I will in a second, just once we've... Right, so that's a Hawthornden apple. Hopefully you can see that name. So I'm assuming that's an older variety, because that's what they like to do in these places, is use the old varieties, not the ones that have been sort of oh, right everyone, the signal's just dropped. It's gone down to 1, so I'm assuming I've lost you. Oh, now we're back to 5. Oh, hello. Right, I'm going to let you go because I've gone way over my time, and I'm sorry. So I will hopefully see you again. If you enjoyed it, follow me. If you've got any questions, or if you manage to get some nice pictures, if you whack them into the Facebook group, HeyGo Voyagers, that would be fantastic, because that's the one thing, is I go around, I never get to take pictures myself. So it'd be nice to see how they look. Anyway, thank you everyone. Right, and I will hopefully see you again on another show. Bye.